name's Paul. I'm 30 and work at a large company. I currently live with Elise, my girlfriend of 5 years, in an apartment close to my parents' house, where my sister Paige and mom live. We actually just got engaged. I'm planning on taking Elise to my parents' house soon, but before that, I came here by myself to talk to them about her today and see how things go.
Congratulations on the engagement!
Thank you. If I remember correctly, the last time you met Elise was 2 years ago, when we decided to live together, right?
Yeah, at a cafe. She's the daughter of a wealthy family, right?
Yup. So she's a bit naive about some things, but I plan to cover for her in those areas.
Aw, you're the nicest person. Huh? What's wrong, Mom? Why are you quiet and silent? Huh? Oh, sorry. It's just that if she's someone you chose, then...
I was a little worried because my mom acted strange this whole time. But I was excited about getting married and living a happy life with Elise. However, things were going in an unexpected direction. Looking back, there were signs of this several months before. One day, when I came home, she was waiting for me on the couch and said,
Oh, welcome home, Paul! Since my pajama's getting old, I want you to buy me a new one. So can you give me $300?
What? The one you're wearing now?
Mm-hmm.
At that moment, I thought, she's back to normal again. As someone who grew up in a modest household, her sense of money was distorted. That's why she spends that much only on pajamas. So I've been taking charge of our finances after getting engaged. As time went on, she started to make an effort to stop wasting money. But recently, her father, who doted on her, passed away, and she received some inheritance. There was no way I could manage it since she received it. But as a result, she quickly spent all of it and went back to living a lavish life. According to the will, her mother, with whom she had a bad relationship, received a larger portion of the inheritance. But I knew there was still a good amount left. By the way, the pajamas she's wearing, she just bought it last week. I need to explain to her carefully again why she shouldn't waste money like this, and how our lives will become difficult if she does. I hope she understands. Well, since she did make an effort before, I believed she would listen and start using her money wisely again, so... Elise, you still could wear that, but remember, I told you before that if we keep wasting money, we won't be able to live, right? Let's use our money wisely, okay? I'll do my best to make you happy. It may take time, but I'll do my best. If it weren't for this, she'd be an innocent, pure-hearted, wonderful woman. A few days later, after that day, when Elise and I were sleeping together in our bed one day, this happened. Good morning, Elise. She was lying next to me, elbows on the pillow, looking at her phone, but quickly hid it under the covers when I called her name.
Oh, good morning.
We always charge our phones at the outlet near our pillows when we sleep, but today was weird. When I casually looked towards the outlet, I noticed that the phone there was not mine, but hers. So that means the phone she'd just hidden is mine. What are you doing looking at my phone?
I was just wondering if you were cheating on me.
What? I would never cheat on you. You're the love of my life.
Okay, sorry.
She must have thought I was pissed off, because she looked like she was going to cry. Her face was so full of despair that I decided not to criticize her anymore. However, as time passed, I gradually began to wonder if I had been unconsciously saying or doing things that made her suspect I was cheating on her. If so, I hate myself. I wanted to talk to someone about this, so I called Paige. I feel so ashamed of myself for making Elise feel worried.
But you don't remember doing anything to make her feel that way, right?
Well, yeah, but...
Maybe she's just anxious before getting married. It's gonna be okay. Hey, Next time when you two come to the house to announce the marriage, I'll support her. How's that?
Thank you, but I think that I may have created a new cause for her to be worried recently, actually.
New cause?
I've been getting a lot of DMs recently from a woman I don't know, asking me out on dates or exchanging IDs. Of course I haven't replied, but the other day, when Elise looked at my phone, she might have found out.
Can you tell me the account of the person who sent the DMs?
Yeah, sure. After I hung up, I immediately sent Paige the account of the woman who sent me DMs and the screenshots of the messages I received. Then a few days later, Elise and I went to my parents' house to announce our marriage. When we arrived, Paige had gone out for some urgent business but would be back soon. My mom invited us in and to the living room. Elise looked tense the whole time, probably because she was nervous about being introduced to my family. Then my mom said,
Paige isn't home yet, but I'll go ahead and prepare the highlight of the day. I actually baked a cake. What? Cake?
She suddenly overreacted to the word cake for some reason.
Oh, I heard from Paul that you're allergic to eggs, so don't worry. It's an egg-free cake. I hope you like it. That's a lie! You're bullying me, huh?
She suddenly banged both of her hands on the table, stood up, and shouted this.
What?
I was so confused that my mouth was wide open. She then yelled at me with an angry look on her face.
She's already bullying me! There are eggs in there, aren't there? She knows how dangerous allergies can be, and yet she did this? How terrible!
What? What are you talking about, Elise? There's no way my mom would
How can you be sure that she wouldn't do something like this? If there are eggs in there, my life could be in danger. That's how dangerous allergies are.
What's really wrong, Elise? Why are you suddenly
How are you going to take responsibility if I eat your mom's cake and collapse?
What? Me?
Fine! This means that the engagement is off.
What?
This happened because of your mom. I can seek compensation. I will make her pay.
While she was yelling at the top of her lungs, my mom was staring at her in silence the whole time. But I was still confused about what was happening. At that moment,
Sorry I'm late! Oh goodness, I could hear Elise's voice from outside.
Paige popped her head in from the living room door. Yes, with her appearance, a shocking truth about Elise is going to be revealed. And she's about to walk a terrible, tragic path. And she doesn't even know that.
Why are you so pissed off, Elise? Are you okay? Yeah, your mom tried to make me eat cake with eggs in it. Even though she knows I'm allergic to them. This is a case of bullying, so I'm making her pay compensation.
The moment after she said that, huh? Paige and my mom suddenly burst out laughing for some reason.
I never thought you'd blame the cake, but I guess that makes everything clear now.
Following her, Paige was still grinning and continued saying,
Well, there are cases where a person could claim compensation if the engagement is broken off due to bullying. Right? I am gonna do that. Wow, you're such a brave person for yelling that you're gonna do that with Paige right there. What? I'm an ordinary office worker, but since I graduated from a law school, I have some knowledge about that.
Oh, hold on! I told her what university she graduated from, but not that she was in the law department.
Unless you can prove what she's done, you can't claim compensation. The evidence needed to prove something must be objective to be credible. Do you have any testimony from people who saw the bullying, or any audio or video recordings of it from the people you asked for help? I knew it. It's not good to make up a story about being bullied just to get money, you know?
Make up a story? Money? What? I was so shocked hearing her words.
Because of people like you, real victims have to struggle to find evidence, making things even harder for them. You're such a terrible person! So unforgivable!
As she said this, she suddenly tugged on something. I couldn't see because of a wall, but what she pulled was the arm of a strange woman. The woman had a sad look on her face, looking down.
Elise! You hired her on social media, huh? You asked her to ask Paul out on dates to send you pictures and videos of him cheating, and if she succeeded, you would pay her some of the compensation you'd get from him.
Are you serious?
Paul told me he's been getting DMs from a woman he doesn't know recently. So since I thought it was suspicious, I contacted the account. I still have all the messages. Also, you two have been texting each other on WhatsApp, right? I saw them, and those messages were definitely from you, Elise. What's going on here?
You were checking my phone that time because you thought if I was cheating on you, you'd be able to squeeze every penny out of me then, huh?
Because you won't give me any allowance, Paul. I only married you because my dad said that people who work at his company would make a decent amount of money. Of all the guys I met, you were the nicest one, so I thought it would be okay to marry you while secretly getting an allowance from my dad.
Allowance, huh? I can't believe this! I thought you made an effort to stop wasting money at the time.
But since my dad passed away, it's gonna be boring to stay with you, so I wanted to dump you and take the money.
What the hell? Are you for real? I was horrified by her greed, and my 100 years of love for her instantly faded away. I'm done.
What?
Get out of here! And from the apartment we live together! When I said that, her eyes widened in shock and her mouth opened. Since I had poured all my love into her until now, she probably never imagined I'd be angry like this, saying such harsh words.
Don't be mad like that. You're the one to blame since you're cheap.
If you think that, then go ahead. But you're the one who's going to suffer later on. She seemed upset by what I said.
Grr, whatever. Goodbye.
After saying that, she left. Paige and my mom asked me if I was going to ask her for compensation. But I didn't want anything to do with her anymore. And it was easy to imagine what would happen to her. A few weeks later, after moving back into my parents' house from the apartment,
Paul, help me!
Elise came to my house and kept ringing the doorbell. Of course, none of us opened the door. But we all heard her voice saying,
After that, I realized I had nowhere to go, so I went to my mom's house, but since she and I have a bad relationship, she ignored me. Also, being unemployed, I couldn't borrow money from a normal financial company, so I went to the one that said anyone could, so I did, but it turns out that the company was loan sharks and I'm being chased now. Help me!
But a few minutes later, we heard her screaming. Her voice was getting further and further away, so I opened the front door a little while keeping the chain on, and saw that she was being dragged away and was put inside a car by two scary-looking guys. After that, I received a letter from her saying that she had started working at a factory deep in the mountains to repay her debt from loan sharks. Seems like she has no time to sleep. And that must suck for her since she was raised like a princess. Also, she sleeps in a tiny hut with 3 people now, so she can't even stretch her legs while sleeping. She's used to sleeping in a big, fluffy bed when she was living with her rich father. So this is nothing but a living hell for her. She probably wrote to me for help since she'd completely broken down mentally. Well, I think this is a good lesson for her since she has always lived her life being very naive. By the way, I ripped her letter and threw it in the trash. As for me, I left my parents' house again and live in an apartment alone. Although my marriage is over now, I was glad that I found out Elise's true colors. Oh, right! I went to go visit Paige and my mom. Paige, Mom, I'm so sorry for causing you 2 trouble that time.
You need to be more careful, Paul.
Yeah, I should be.
You're too nice. If you meet someone next time, you might want to tell Mom first. It seems like she noticed from the beginning that she was not the right one. Yeah, but since you were the one who chose her, I couldn't say anything. Anyways, I baked cake for you two. Yay! I love your cake. Looks delicious. Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see